Hello and welcome to A Cup of Conversation on BRT TV. My name is Jangazi and I'm your host, and if I get the words right, I can introduce my guests to you today because they are the lovely Diana Peake and also Beverly Westbrook, and we're talking about CADS, Kyrenia Amateur Dramatic Society, and we've recently come out of a radio play which was broadcast not so long ago, and we've got lots coming up for the end of this year, so lots to do with acting and performing and with Kyrenia Amateur Dramatic Society. So ladies, Diana and Beverly, welcome to the programme.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes. It's lovely to have you here once again. And you were saying that, you know, you put your foot in the door and you've been to BRT for about 4 or 5 times in the past 2 or 3 months, haven't you, really?
Well, one way and another.
One way or another. So once you've got the foot in the door for BRT, we don't let you go that easily.
No, I think not. There's always something dragging you back, yes.
But we'd love to have you back, and as I said, we recently had a radio play which has been going on for many years now between CADS and BRT, and we had a great time with world premiere, which was recently aired. But let's go back to the beginning. Now, Diana, how long have you been here in the TRNC?
15 and a half years.
Wow. And have you always been involved with amateur dramatics?
Well, come and go. I mean, when I was 6, I was a bunny rabbit or something like that. I mean, I'm told that's the very first time. Right. But after that, I actually got bitten by the bug when I saw once, I was told, you've got to have some stage makeup on, Diana, and I was about 11, and there will be some bright lights, and that was it. That was it. I loved it. Give me some stage makeup and a light, and I'm on stage.
So you're very comfortable in the studio today now?
Well, hopefully.
Yeah,
hopefully.
All the bright lights here at BRT. And Beverly, it's lovely to have you back here again at BRT as well. And I know that you're very busy with CADS, but how long have you been here in North Cyprus?
11 years ago I moved here, and prior to that I spent 20 years in Istanbul, so I'm half Turkish.
Wow, that's why your Turkish is so good, because I know that you're listening to the people around us getting us ready today, and you knew what was going on, so you have very good Turkish.
I'm not like a native speaker, but I'm certainly quite fluid rather than fluent, you know. I've got missing vocabulary and I sometimes get it wrong, but yeah, when I moved to Turkey 30 years ago, there weren't that many English speakers present, so you had to learn the language of the country you lived in.
Yeah.
And coming here, not getting quite the same opportunity to practice it because most people here like to speak English.
Yes.
So you don't fight it, you just go with it.
But I was watching you as we were getting ready for the interview, watching the TV, our Turkish television, and you were like, you know, following what's going on. Oh, there's a concert going on here. So you do, you know, you can read the paper enough to understand what's going on.
In actual fact, about 15 years ago, the block of flats that I lived in, the little apartment blocks that you find in Istanbul, the residents all ganged up on me and said, Beverly Hanım, it's your turn, you will now be our yönetici, which is like the block manager.
Yeah.
And I had managed to escape that for 12 years or more by saying I'm a foreigner, I can't do it. And eventually they all ganged up on me and said, sorry, you've been here longer than most of us, you're in charge. Well, that was one heck of a learning curve. And yes, reading scripts on television and reading whatever, when you're the only speaker of that language in the block, you've got to use the language of your neighbours, and so
of course.
I moved on in leaps and bounds.
Definitely. And here you are now at BRT, and we're talking about CADS. And how long have you been involved with CADS, Beverly?
I joined up in the summer of, when did we do our first radio play? Was it 10?
About 10 years ago, yes.
2010?
Yes. I'm a couple of years after you, I think.
Basically what happened was, in 2009, a group that no longer exists as a group, but many of the people are still present, were auditioning for Hello, Hello.
Oh yes, Hello.
Oh yes.
Diana was in it. I turned up with another friend of ours who is actually a CADS secretary now, Stephen Everett, to audition. We got walk-on parts, fair enough, we were the new boys in town, but we got to know these people. And then after the play was finished, which was March 2010, there was an advert in the paper for auditions for CADS. And I said to Stephen, let's go and see what's happening. So we toddled along. He got picked. I ended up being the prompt. But I'd made friends with Diana, and I told her about it. So she came along, and that we all performed together.
There is one bit that I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. There is one bit that she has missed out, because although I had one of the leading parts, and I had to dress up in about 6 different types of costume, on the very first night, I fell down a load of stairs.
Yep.
I did the first half. I've slipped on some marble stairs, tumble, tore all the ligaments on the back of my leg, was carted off to the hospital, and that was my, after rehearsing about 3 days a week for about 4 months, I ended up actually on stage for one half of one show.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, and in
what
fact,
a great introduction to
the joke.
acting.
So when anybody says break a leg, I'll say don't say it, because you know you're supposed to.
Not literally.
Not
literally, didn't you,
in
Diana?
fact, in CADS, we're very superstitious about it because we've had broken legs, broken wrists, slipped this, sprained that. So we won't allow anyone to say break a leg.
Okay, we won't say that then on the programme.
No, please not. Please
However,
don't.
Diana, I want to mention, because I remembered that you were actually in a local film presented by or directed by Tamer Garib, who is a very popular guy here in the world of film in the TRNC.
Yes,
he's made a couple of films, Dr. Dilara, but you were in his first film, Codename Venus, weren't you?
Codename Venus, that's right. I played the aged aunt. That was my description. No
Aged
makeup
aunt.
was needed as the aged aunt, you see.
And I remember at the time, it was a big thing in the press, and he was calling out for people to join and to audition.
He did.
So did you go through how it would be in Hollywood, let's say, and you go through audition phase and screen test?
It wasn't a bit like the Hollywood auditions that it is now, I can assure you. But yes, he did want some Brits, because, you know, that was the time, in the TRNC where the British were here, weren't they? So he did want somebody to be a general, and somebody to be a policeman, and somebody to do this and somebody to do that. And but we didn't have scripts. He put us in front of a tiny little camera and said, right, improvise. Improvise what? Oh, well, and then he would just call another woman over. Right, you two can talk. And I said, what would you like to talk about? And she said, well, I like your sweater. And I said, yes, I quite like your hairdo. And that's how we improvised for about 10 minutes. And that was my audition. I then got the part as the aged aunt.
Very nice. Very good introduction there to the world of film in the
There was a
TRNC.
film, yes. And I still got the script, which he didn't go by. He would give you a script, let you read it for 10 minutes. He used to take it off you, throw it across the room, and said, right, now get on with it.
That's show business for you.
That's different.
That's different. We're talking about CADS today, obviously,
Yes, we
and
are
as I said
talking
before,
about
we have a very good relationship with you guys. I love every summer that you come to BRT to record a radio play. But let's go back to the beginning. Do we have any figures for CADS, as in how many years it's been going?
Yes. CADS was first founded in 1975, so that means that this year we're 44 years old.
Wow.
We're the oldest Amdram society, as far as I know, in the whole of Cyprus. And we have been continuously in existence since 1975. We had our first original kind of like ratification through government status, etc., back in the 90s. And then 3 years ago, when the laws changed about the DARENEX, the foundations, the societies, we re-ratified. And so we are completely in line with government requirements. And as I say, the oldest Amdram society around here, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And you've got an annual general meeting coming up,
We have.
I know, soon, which people can come and sit on, I suppose, and see what's going on? Or is it just for the members?
Right, AGMs are usually for the members because it's a reporting process.
Right.
people are welcome to come along and join, but the AGM is not one of those where you just come along, sit and listen in. You're expected, there will be voting taking place, because we do, the actual executive committee is re-elected each year, so we need to have voting members present. It's not a long process at CADS. Our actual record for an AGM is 38 minutes.
Which is going some, isn't it? Really. You don't have to think you're going to be there for 2.5 hours. You're in and you're out.
You're out. So when is the AGM this year?
It'll be on Monday the 11th of November. Right. It's known locally to us as the Green Room, which of course is a theatrical venue that is within
you understand
the world
that,
of
the expression Green Room,
the actual name of the place is called Zeno, and it's the little cafe bar on the corner next to the police station in Guernsey, opposite Wednesday Market.
Fantastic. So near centre of town, very easy to access for everyone.
If they know where the police station is,
everyone knows where the police station is.
50 yards down the road.
We all know where the Wednesday Market is. Even a more popular place than the police station. But so you have your AGM at the moment. I'm sorry to be very naive about this, but who is the chairman?
Me.
You are the chairman.
Yes.
I didn't want to make a mistake and say you're the chairman. I thought you were, but I didn't want to make a, just in case you said, well, actually, no, I'm not the chairman, because I know that you were the director of the most recent radio play. But so you're the chairman at the moment. Are you going to stand up again?
I'll have to be, because according to the Constitution, whilst some of our other officers, like the Supervisory Committee, the Disciplinary Committee, etc., are elected for 3 years, the Executive Committee, which is comprised of Secretary, Chairman, Secretary, Treasurer and 3 others with standby members, have to be elected annually. There's no long-term. It always has been, actually. We've always elected each year. What very often happens is the same people are re-elected, because
we don't want the job, frankly.
Two things. We're a small society. We've not got masses of people. Not everybody wants the job. And some people do the job so well that, well, please, will you carry on?
So if it all works, why change it?
Absolutely. And in fact, if you remember back to the days of Tony Woods, he was re-elected chair of CADS year after year after year.
The late, great Tony Woods.
Absolutely.
He was a fantastic guy. Everyone, I mean, over the years, people I've met via CADS, everyone's very enthusiastic, very keen. And I think, you know, it shows with all the productions you've been doing, from various plays over the years to pantomimes, to the radio shows that we've been doing on our radio station. Diana, do you have a position at the moment within CADS?
I haven't got enough.
You are on the executive.
I am on the executive, but I don't have a title.
You don't have a title?
And I don't want one.
You don't want one?
No.
So we're not going to vote for you then?
Yes, you are.
Oh, yes, you have to. I have to be voted back on. But I don't.
But not as a replacement for Beverly?
No, no way.
No way?
Absolutely no way. She wouldn't let me. But can I just add one little thing in case people think we're not terribly lovey.
You're not terribly lovey?
Well,
lovey.
Lovey.
We're lovey, yes. You know, people who are on the stage of that tend to be, frightfully lovey. I might call people darling. It's only because I can't remember people's names. But people think, oh, no, I can't join that lot. They're all a bit sort of...
We're not. You know, we're very realistic.
We're very down to earth. Yes.
We even came out with the same words.
But you are very down to earth, and it's always a pleasure to have an association with you guys, because it's just so fun. You know, the energy bounces off. I think, and I hope that our viewers are getting the energy now as well while we're chatting here. So after the AGM, after that's all done and finished at the beginning of November, what's coming up next? What would we like to talk about now?
Right. Well, please, can we promote the Christmas show?
Yes.
Why not? Why not?
Now, I'll just clarify something. A long time ago, the first pantomime produced on the island, or northern Cyprus part of the island, was by CADS. And CADS did 2 or 3 pantomimes, but then it got dropped, because pantomime is huge and it takes a lot of people, it takes a lot of
money.
So, 6 years ago, It precedes that, in fact. 9 years ago, a new arrival to the island, Laurie Oxley, put on a Christmas murder mystery called Who Slayed Santa? It was very well received. It was a sellout show at the Mountain View, and he revived it about 3 years later. I was in it. I don't think
I wasn't in it. No.
I was in it, and we performed at the Pia Bella and a place called Santoria Holiday Village. Unfortunately, Laurie passed away just after that season.
He was. Can I just say he was a real pro, wasn't he? Because he used to work for Granada Television.
He came
didn't
from
he?
the world of theatre and television.
He really was.
So the following year, I thought it'd be a shame. We've just got this nice Christmas bit going on. I'll have a go at writing one. So I did. I wrote Turkey and Tinsel. I managed to persuade 8 people to sign up, and we put it on at the Pia Bella and Christmas Murder Mystery. Everybody loved it. January the next year, Beverly, are we having another one this year? Well, I'll have to think of a theme. Okay, to cut a long story short, we've had Turkey and Tinsel, Ice Palace Hotel, Christmas Cracker,
yes,
Santa's Grotto, this year, Sleigh Bells in the Park. And we include Fairy Godmother.
Oh yes, the Fairy Godmother. You can't not have a Fairy Godmother.
Of course not.
We have Santa Claus and his wife, Mrs. Claus, and their daughter, Merry Christmas, who is married to a man called Randolph Reindeer. We have housekeeping Holly Berry, general manager of the Santa Claus Enterprises Patchwork. We have a couple of unpredictable fairies, Sue Grabbit and Run. We have a fireworks expert, James Brock, and we have Inspector Ralph of the Lapland Yard.
Sounds like a fantastic ensemble.
Terrific. And this year we have brought back Sugar Plum, yes, she's been commissioned to write an original song for Christmas, yes, for the reopening of Sleigh Bells in the Park. Rudolph and the herd are waiting there, expectantly wondering what Sugar Plum's going to turn out with. And meanwhile, Fairy Godmother has been saddled with a trainee fairy called Tabitha.
Yes.
Very interesting, very interesting.
Yes.
So do we have, have you started rehearsing for this yet?
We had the preliminary get-together on Monday afternoon where I handed out the scripts. And, I have had comments from various people over the years about what goes on in here.
Don't ask what goes in her head.
Fun.
I'm not sure.
I really enjoy writing the scripts. And then the great thing is because I've got a regular cast, I'm writing with their voices in my head. I can hear how they'll deliver something, so I write the lines accordingly. And then come October, November, I get to see those people actually put it to life. And it's great.
Isn't it amazing, though? Isn't it good to see it come alive, all your thoughts in your head that you have put down onto paper and everything now? So it's going to be fun. Do we have any dates for the production?
Yes, we do. The first one will be at Corinium Golf and Country Club, which will actually be on the 29th of November. We couldn't put it further into December because we end up then with school holiday clashes, other things going on, etc. So this year we're breaking precedent. We're actually going to put on a show in November, but it is the very end. And then the following Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which is the 2nd, 3rd and 4th of December, will be on at the Black Olive venue in Alsanjak.
Excellent, brilliant. So we can get ready for Christmas.
Absolutely.
At the end of November, beginning of December this year. Sounds very, very good. I want to ask you, Diana, you've been involved on and off with productions on television, on radio, or on film, whatever. Do you enjoy theatre the most, do you think, when you're actually on stage with the audience watching, or do you prefer being like here we are now on the screen, you don't even know who's watching or whatever's going on?
A lot depends on how you're feeling. People think that I just stride on and, like a colossus and have no nerves. I have actually, on occasions, had to literally feel terribly, terribly ill and had to go a rush out. I'd suffer awful from nerves. but you just mustn't let it show.
But they say, don't they, that if you're not nervous, it's not right. You know, you should be nervous, shouldn't you? You should have that stage fright.
You must be nervous, it shows you care.
But once you're on, and hopefully you can only see about 2 lines, 2 rows of people, but sadly, because we no longer have a theatre, which is tragic, no longer have our own theatre, you can see just about all of them. And you're saying, please laugh, please smile, don't sit there like this. But once you hear the first clapping, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. However, on films and television, particularly with digital, if you drop a clanger, you can just cut it out and, join it up.
What we did in the studio.
Yes, look,
the power of radio, the power of editing audio is very good.
Yes.
How many active members do you think you have now, Beverly?
We're a small group. We're about 30 people, and that's primarily because there's not that many people are brave enough to go on stage.
Hence radio, you see?
Hence radio. Yes, the reason why you give that opportunity once a year is for those who want to do a bit of acting but are afraid of going on stage. At least radio is not live, you re-record it, and if you do something wrong, you can go back and read it again, and you're not in front of anybody, just a group of us in the studio. But 30 is still quite a good number to have. Although I remember in previous years when I had other guests on from CADS that you're looking maybe for more diverse selection of people. Most of the expats here are of a certain age.
That's correct.
And you need maybe younger generation coming in.
The problem that we've had is that you're right. It started to become rather restricted, that it was kind of like retired expats. And they were British. I'm very, very pleased to say that over the last 5 years or more, the internationalism of the society, unbelievable. So we're now no longer Brits. We are completely wide open to everybody that is interested. Age range, slight problem there. People who are not retired tend to have jobs. They go to work. And of course, trying to find rehearsal places in the evening is a lot more difficult than finding places in the afternoon. Yeah, we have any number of opportunities to rehearse between 2 and 4, 3 and 5, 1 and 3, but trying to get places at between 7 and 9, and even with some of our retired folk, getting them to be able to come to rehearsals between 7 and 9. So it's proved to be a bit of a fine line. We really, really want younger members of the community to join, but we know that they go to work. Or in the case of our latest member, who is 8,
yes, we've got one.
Our trainee fairy, Tabitha, we've had to put our rehearsal schedules around her school timetable. So we rehearse when she gets out of school.
And of course, that's the other thing about radio. What was how many radio plays was it back? Yes, you must have recorded it. At my advanced age, if you remember, I played an 11-year-old public school boy who was frightfully posh like that.
That was post-mortem.
Yes, that's it.
5
so
years ago.
they were saying on radio you can do anything.
Yeah, with radio you can do anything and everything once.
Absolutely.
But obviously with acting in front of a group of people, you're stretching it to do that in front of a stage, in front of an audience. But there is a chance, opportunity for people to come and join.
Please.
If they have the chance to join you in your rehearsals.
We have a complete open door policy. We want people to come and join us, and you don't have to want to perform on stage. We have got people who want to be part of the group but couldn't even begin to imagine walking out there and playing to an audience. So there's prompt, there's backstage, there's costume, there's dress, there's makeup, there's lighting. There's any number of things that make you an involved member of the group, where you don't have the nail-biting nerves of having to go out there and look people in the eye.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be wonderful if we had our own, somebody who was perhaps a retired electrician. I mean, we could have used electricians to help us in the past for all sorts of things,
as
couldn't
it is, we keep strong-arming my husband.
That's true.
And also maybe somebody who could, you know, maybe make a few props,
Absolutely.
backdrops or whatever.
Yes, a carpenter. I mean, we have.
Well, we've got John, and he's great, but he needs help sometimes.
Absolutely.
We have actually discovered that what we're doing now is we're planning our backdrops and our scenery and what have you to keep it easy, because we haven't got a team, we've got a chap.
Yeah.
You know, so if we could have more people who would be able to contribute towards set building, we could build some sets.
Would you say that maybe like the Christmas plays and the pantomimes, the shows, is that maybe like the highlight of the year? Because obviously during the summer people go away and it's very difficult to get everyone rehearsing, everyone wants to just chill out. But now it's a fun time of the year, isn't it? Festive time of the year is brilliant. Yeah. And so do you think that this is maybe like the highlight of the calendar for CADS?
A few years ago I would have said yes, because it had the biggest cast, and you know there's that whole atmosphere of Christmas. But I can say that over the last 18 months there's been some terrific shows gone on. We put on a fabulous show last autumn, which was I don't know how best to describe it, but basically it was different. A
review?
A review.
Yes.
That's a good way of describing it. And it was a sellout performance. The audience loved it. The cast loved it. They absolutely loved it. Then this spring, we put on a murder mystery. And again, sold out, hooray. But 8 people in this production.
Well, this
8 on
coming
stage. And then, of course, we've got the back production. The one before, the one in October, I had 17 people coming on and off stage.
I've never dressed so quickly in my life.
Yeah.
It was
Once upon a time, I would have said that Christmas was the top show. But now, we're so varied and
Lots going on.
Lots going on, absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
The one thing we tend not to do at all is really sing.
Yeah, cats are not good singers.
Doesn't matter.
One or
And
two
in
of us
fact,
can,
that's
but
even
the
a
vast
bit of a
majority
running theme in
can't.
this year's Christmas show, because whilst Sugar Plum has been commissioned to write the song, turns out the chaps don't really want to sing. And then, well, the
they
ladies
can't.
can do it. And then Fairy Godmother comes over and says, well, hang on a minute, why weren't we asked about this? So I've even managed to get that little theme in. CADS doesn't do singing.
We don't sing too much on CADS, unless you have a great singing voice. I want to say that, you know, you're a great group of people, and I want to wish you all the best. I'm not going to say, as is unlucky,
No,
you know,
don't.
that phrase that we use in show business, but if anyone wants to find out more, they can obviously, any one of the audience can come and say hello to you at the end of the show. But do you have a contact address or details or website even?
We've got everything. We have Facebook, website.
Oh, we're with it now. We didn't
Very
used to be. But
technology-minded.
We used to be a bit analogue technology, didn't we?
Yes. But,
So CADS is on Facebook.
Yes.
We can look you up there. We can find out what's going on there.
Yeah, we have a website, and then we have the good old-fashioned phone number in the paper.
Right, in Cyprus today?
Yes.
and Cyprus Scene, I think, do we?
And Cyprus Scene, they're wonderful for supporting us, absolutely terrific. So if you really would like to make contact with CADS, there are ways. Additional to which, it's surprising just how many people know us as individuals, but might not connect that we're CADS.
Yes.
So sometimes just face to face, do you know anything about CADS? Well, actually, yes.
I am so from CADS, but I'm sure that you know you'll have a sellout show again, all the shows that you do this winter. But thank you very much for coming in today to our programme and for reminding everyone how wonderful CADS is. And I wish you all the best, and hopefully maybe via this platform you may get a few new faces. We're looking for new people out there.
That would be
Anyone
lovely.
who wants to join in the fun with CADS, you're more than welcome. And of course, don't forget the end of year or the Christmas show coming up soon. Get your tickets early because it'll be a sellout show, I'm sure. But Diana and Beverly, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes,
welcome.
delighted to be here.
Thanks a lot. And with that, we've come to the end of A Cup of Conversation on BRT TV. Thanks for watching and see you all soon. Bye-bye.